Hello. So today I'll be discussing with you the sun and its toxicities and how to screen yourself. Sunscreen. We're going to discuss generally sunscreen and how to avoid the um, toxicity that come from the sun. All right. So my name is Jane. I'm a pharmacist. I'm a consultant clinical pharmacist, and this discussion today is like the fourth discussion on a series of discussion on the skin. Okay. So talking about the sun, we already know what the sun is. If you live in sub-Saharan Africa, maybe you live in Nigeria, you already know that the sun can have its effects on both the very dark skinned people and light skinned people. It doesn't matter. We experience sunburn, sun toxicity in different levels, right? So exposure to sunlight is not the best for us. It causes a series of health issues or concerns. Number one is sunburn. Some people don't experience sunburn, but there are some people, when they go out into the sun, they will notice redness in their faces or in their body. Because you don't see it happening immediately, you might not even know. It might even be the next day you notice, oh, I have a darkening patch here. Why some people's sunburn is more toxic, you call it phototoxic. So these are the things you can experience by going to the sun. Then there's aging, photo aging, whereby going into the sun makes you get older faster. You might be in your 30s, but you look like you're in your 40s or 50s because, some people can't help it. Maybe what they do has to do with it. Like if you're selling tomatoes under the sun, definitely you can't help it. So people like that will age faster than their mates because of the effects of the sun. You might undermine it. Is it that bad? Yes, it's that bad because, for example, if you have hot water poured on your skin, you notice quickly how that area becomes wrinkled out. That's what heat does to your skin. That's what the kind of effect that sun can have on your skin over time. Most of these effects don't happen immediately, and the worst of them will be skin cancer. Exposure to sunlight can actually cause skin cancer. Okay, so these are some of the things that we are scared about in the sun. Reason why there's a need to screen yourself or to be covered from the sun. So before we talk about sunscreens, I want us to talk about how we can prevent this issue of or the bad effects that we get from the sun. Because if you live in Nigeria, probably your chances of getting this effect would be higher, though there are some arguments back and forth on what the sun actually does to black skinned people. I will get to that argument, but let's discuss the main reason why we are here, so that we can help each other to stay healthier. Okay, the most important way or the best way to screen yourself out of the sun is to simply stay away from the sun. It's not easy. It's almost impossible to say I'm not going to enter the sun. But if you have that option, you are far better off being out of the sun totally than taking any other step I'll mention now. So this assures that you are safe and you are not affected in any way. Another method you can use is to use shades. Cover yourself with umbrella, cover yourself with a hat, use a big wide hat when you're walking under the sun. If you go to even developed countries, now they leave trees. People leave trees everywhere. But I don't know why in Nigeria they cut down all the trees. Walking under the shade, if you see any shade, walking under the shade is a good protection, is a good strategy to stay away from the sun. The shade will give you more screening from the sun than the sunscreen that you buy in the market. That's the truth. If you walk under the tree, maybe where you're going to, you can see some trees you walk under or through, which doesn't always happen, but some streets are like that. So this will give you even a better protection than no matter the cost of the sunscreen that you're buying. Okay, so people are also advised to use dark long sleeve clothes. Don't use bright colored clothes like the one I'm putting on now when you're going under the sun. Dark long sleeve clothes, if it's loose and can allow air into your skin, is better. trousers or pants, long pants, to cover your body as much as you can. Use sunshades to protect your eye, anyway, that's to protect your eye from the sun. Use a big hat to cover your head. But if there are other parts of your body that cannot be covered, like even if I wear a sunshade now, not everywhere my face will be covered, and even as I'm putting on a long sleeve, some parts of my body or my hands are still showing. I noticed that so many people use sunscreen to protect their face alone. I want to believe that they are doing this because they want to stop hyperpigmentation in the face, because the sun, you already mentioned, it causes skin cancer, it can cause hyperpigmentation, it can cause phototoxicity, it can also cause sunburn. All these things are what you are screening yourself from the sun for. So if you say, oh, I don't want to get darker, then I'm using sunscreen for only my face, not to get darker on my face, that's valid. But I feel like that's partial, because unless maybe your only reason for using sunscreen is for hyperpigmentation, then that's okay. But I'm only saying that sunscreen widely is used to protect yourself from every other thing that I mentioned. Okay, so we already mentioned staying away from the sun. Staying away from the sun between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. That's a toxic sun period. 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. The earlier morning sun is actually good for your system. We'll talk about that later, but I think I have to break this video into two for us to get the whole discussion without having an extremely long video. So you do all these things. You stay away from the sun, you cover up yourself when you're going to the sun with dark clothes. Don't wear colorful clothes. Wear a big hat, gives you protection. Yeah, go ahead to wear a sunglass. It also helps protect your eye anyway, not other parts of your body. And go and try to do your activities within the time that the sun is not the highest, from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. All right, so I'm breaking this video now. The next episode, I will talk about sunscreen itself. At least we have a good understanding of the whole concept of sunscreening, and everything I just mentioned now is actually geared towards screening you away from. Let's not make the English about the cream. Let's talk about it holistically. These are things you are doing to screen yourself from the effects of the sun. Okay, so the sun actually has a good effect. I won't talk about that in this video. It has a good effect. If you are exposed to the sun earlier in the morning, when it's not really the strong UVB light rays, this earlier morning rays can actually help your skin activate what is called vitamin D. We already know, and vitamin D is very helpful, help to protect you from skin cancer, from even cancer generally. It's very good for your body. But the problem is that okay, I think we have to talk about sunscreen before we talk about this. Okay, so see you in the next episode. Thank you.